when you find the right group of friends, it really kind of can feel like home for somebody.
All right. Hello, McKelvey family and friends.
Hello, my name is Ranyan Darsh.
My name is Sean Lowley.
Hey, this is Dawson.
My name's Sean Cook.
Hi, my name's Patrick.
My name's Tanner.
Kenny Sokolowski.
My name is Morgan Matlin.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Blair.
Hi, my name is Brendan Kagan.
Rich Goodwin here.
Hello, my name's Troy Keel.
My name is Pierre Bergman.
My name's Matt Iberlin.
My name's Lee Rust.
My name's Brian Selmer.
My name's Pat Holland.
Chris Mayers.
Hey, my name is Pat Moore.
My name's Hannah.
I'm Madison Blackley.
Camila.
My name is Tom Underwood.
I'm Worth.
Cam Fitzpatrick here.
Hello, Dave and Kim. I'm Mark, Jessica's dad.
I'm Ed Goucher, Jess Goucher's opa.
My name is Jessica Goucher.
Kneeling here right at the bottom of the natural selection course, where I saw the happiest man they've ever seen in their entire life.
Mike told me that he was happier than he had ever been. Really hard to believe because that kid was so freaking stoked all the time.
I met Mike about 6 years ago, working park crew, Colorado.
First time I met Mike was through Scott. Hey, this new guy's in town, he takes photos.
From the instant we met, felt like we bonded like brothers.
Seems pretty cool. Yeah, you still want to go to Cora? He was just having fun all the time.
I had the occasion to meet Mike once back in November last year when he came cross country with Jess.
And I'm a friend of Mike's from Jackson Hole.
Met Mike through natural selection this summer.
He was up there just building all that stuff.
He built that course.
This was like his baby, kind of.
I met Mike building the natural selection tour course this summer.
You gotta work with him and the other 7 builders.
Right there.
Building with them for the natural select and
working on the natural selection course.
I was one of the competitors for natural selection.
I had only known Mike for a little over a year.
Mike moved here, what, like 6, 7 years ago? Something like that?
I've known Mike for 5 years.
One of Mike's roommates is at the Shred House.
As a roommate, he was my roommate, one of my best friends.
He was my roommate.
We were roommates with Jess. Mike practically lived with us for the past few months.
And in the last 2 years, I've gotten to know Mike pretty well.
We got to become really close with him.
He was an adventure partner.
We roomed together for 2.
I've known him the last couple of years, living as roommates and shredding any chance we get.
The whole past year's been full of us ending together.
Mike was my hero. I'm gonna live my life the way Mike would want to.
We had this great hike this summer. We tried to free solo the Grand Teton.
I was a part of the riders crew
and had the pleasure of meeting Mike.
That came into town to help out for about a week.
It was cool watching him this year take over his own team during this natural selection event. He was right on the same page with Travis and Ranyan and everybody else when not a lot of people were in the rest of the company. I could just see it in his eyes. He was so hyped.
During the summer build.
I first met him on a trip to Jackson Hole with me and 3 other of my friends. We'd never been there before.
A lot we could say about that awesome guy.
Incredibly talented snowboarder.
100% fun.
An incredibly talented artist.
Don't get much better than Mike.
An incredibly talented person.
I look up to Mike every single day. Love you, Mike.
He's the best.
Rad dude.
Good friend of Mike's.
My best friend that I had here.
Eventually went over to Jackson Hole, met up with him there, worked for the crew there for a season.
Longtime member of the Jackson Hole Park and Pipe team.
I worked with Mike since he started Park and Pipe.
4 years working with someone, definitely get close.
Friend and coworker of Mike's for the past 3 years.
Co-worker of Mike's here at Jackson Hole.
Let's just power through right there. You're right there.
Mike is an amazing person and worker and friend.
Known him for about 2 years from the crew.
As a co-worker,
I really only worked with him during the summertime, but
Worked with Mike for several years.
So crazy about the park.
Memories of him being on Park and Pipe crew for a long time. And
he was the heart and soul of Park and Pipe.
I had the pleasure of getting to know Mike down in Jackson Hole, working for the Park and Pipe department.
And he was just so hungry.
He brought like a lot of new creative ideas that were fresh and nice.
Always fun to work with him.
He's like, yeah, the park. We're going to make the sickest park.
Then the park.
Okay, you're in for a little different scene here.
He was always just so stoked
About building and snowboarding.
to build whatever, to hit it too.
Helped us build some jumps.
Having him on the crew was super awesome. He was super creative.
And just saw the mountain in such a creative way that he was showing me portals to send. Always knew where they were.
There's more to our park than our park.
It felt like such a pleasure to meet him that day. And
Actually, we didn't even plan to meet. Fishing by myself one day after work, I saw a dude do a backflip off the bridge. He had long hair, and I'm like, that's probably him. There's no other person that does crazy, weird things like that.
Opening our door near midnight saying, you guys farting in here?
Asking us if we want pancakes.
At 6 a.m.
It's very inspiring. Such an inspirational guy.
Go out and get it, Mike.
We got to ride like Mike.
Do it for Mike. Be like Mike.
I'll be like Mike.
To just be like Mike.
Every cliff jump, every snowboard ride.
Doing it for Mike.
It's going to be for Mike.
Be like Mike.
And have fun doing it.
Love. A love for love.
I've never met anybody with so much enthusiasm.
I mean, I don't know how he stretched his heart so widely.
He was a good leader.
Mike was great with us. He was very patient and helpful.
Where we were building the natural selection together.
When we had a task, we'd always have a good conversation figuring out how to get it done.
We were working on this wall together on one of the landings.
And just laughing and having a blast the whole time.
Because we had no idea what we were doing.
He would always have such a positive outlook.
Just loved to live.
Admired his integrity and how passionate he was.
Be like Mike.
We all need to be more like Mike.
Chainsawing, stash park features.
We hear like, hey, we need medical at Washakie. Oh shit, like who got hurt? Chainsaw fell and he tried to dodge it and it sliced his hand, but.
And we'd get through it having a smile on our face.
And then I see a UTV Ranyan's driving, going faster than I've ever seen anyone drive a UTV downhill. Shout out to Ranyan.
I'm not good at these things.
Good UTV driver. Mike's sitting in the back, like holding his hand, and he would be just climbing it all over. Shoulder issue, broken hand or something.
I just remember a time we had a session out there in the stash park with Travis Rice and I. He waited till the end of the session after it was all bomb hold.
Very humble.
Ended up trying like a double cork.
You know, Mike, he had a way of dragging you into something that you didn't really want to do.
All the style he brought to snowboarding and his white coat.
Talented and how humble he was.
His yellow coat.
What did he get me into?
His green coat.
I'm gonna fucking kill this kid.
His black work coat.
But that was the best part, you know, he pushed you. He got you to a limit and to a level that nobody else would get you to. And
so much style.
Wasn't trying to sit around and tell you how rad he was.
You knew who he was.
After ripping this course, man, I've never seen that sense of fulfillment ever in somebody's face.
I think that's the first time he was ever on a snowmobile, trying to search for a new zone, and me and Scott just being like, yo, Mike, you gotta just chill here under these trees for a while. Come back like an hour later, and Mike's just chilling, stoked to be out there in the mountains. And
give it your all, 110%.
Would really push you, get you out of your comfort zone.
Such a fun guy to follow. You know, Mikey did it. I'd send it. I'd follow him.
You'd be trying new tricks.
So gung-ho on trying these tricks.
The stoke was always high with that kid.
Pushing himself to the limits.
You could feel the snowboard stoke.
I wanted to be more and more like him.
whether it was your first day snowboarding or climbing or hiking or whatever it was, or your 10,000th day, Mike was going to make you feel like you were ripping.
Driving up the work trucks, and I'd put on Fish Radio, my favorite. Mike would be sitting in the back or in the front, and he'd be reading facts about the song to me, and hey, last time they played this was in...
And he had the best way of lifting anybody up.
Always made it fun.
He lived on his own terms, and I thought that was the coolest thing.
Enjoy the outdoors and friendship.
His laugh was one of the best and most contagious laughs I've ever heard.
He always had a smile on his face.
He was the filmer.
Took photos, didn't even know he took photos.
He takes great photos.
Setting GoPros in the trees.
The year after he got like his drone and all the cool shit, he's just got like...
Real good filmer for sure.
Like big old bags, full of fucking camera equipment and
Film us, take some photos.
His movie, They Are the Eggmen.
More than welcoming to guide us around.
And he ended up putting a few of me in there, which I can't tell you how much that meant to me, because it's such an amazing movie.
How welcoming he could make others and everyone feel.
So inclusive. He was so supportive of just women in general and women snowboarding, and I think that's why him and Jess were a great match together.
We never even disagreed.
Hey, Jess.
We had talked online about how he had started dating this girl and about how he thinks we would be good friends and how we had to snowboard.
And get to catch up with my girl Jess, and she's head over heels. I've met Mike. He's rad. I'm so happy for you.
And I am so stoked I got to know Mike McKelvey.
Jess loved him.
And I loved him every single day.
And how much he meant to Jess.
I mean, I have a million stories of Mike snowboarding and at work doing shenanigans. But my favorite memory would be he came with Jess on their way to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. It was the most normal I felt since my accident. But that was just Mike. He just came through, made you forget about anything worrisome, and made you want to hang out, made you want to watch snowboarding videos. And it was just special.
The fullest heart of anybody I've ever known.
I saw Jess also hanging out with Jesse Burt. We just like hung out.
He picked up some beers, craft beers, local beers along the way.
Just looks up at me. I was like, "Yo, I'm Mike. You want to go snowboard?"
He handed me a beer and just like made me part of their crew and just.
That's Mike. That's what it is. And
have him asking to kind of want to hang out with me is like so special that someone this talented and someone I looked up to and was such a great friend.
Just kind of joined the gang.
And I sat down and I had some beers with him, and it was really special.
And it just made me feel special.
He was just part of the crew right away.
He quickly mingled with the family and became part of the larger group.
I'll always remember.
One of the stories that I have about Mike, after a long day of building on the course, we
went down to the Hoback tree.
Famous little swimming spot. We were all having a blast, and as the swim was over and the sun was going down, in the moment he didn't say anything to anybody. Mike climbed up to the very top
of this funky dead tree.
Just an absolute animal of a climber.
Just laid out a huge backflip in front of all of us, and we were all cheering him on.
And I was just like, oh my God, like that guy is awesome.
And it was just crazy.
He came out of the water and he was like, oh yeah, I love cliff jumping.
I remember going cliff jumping with him in Washington. He would just throw himself off these cliffs.
Innate a desire to go send.
And stomp like most of them. Super fun trip.
He taught my good friend how to do a backflip for the first time.
Plenty of other waterfalls and climbing areas.
And I was very impressed with his personality.
I was just thoroughly impressed. Only knowing my short amount of time, I feel very grateful to have gotten to spend that time.
He is a top-right individual.
Made the decisions to get himself into a place where he could follow his soul.
Really thankful that we have such a strong team that's able to hold each other up.
That was a special moment in Jackson Hole history.
Whenever I think of the mountain, I usually think of Mike.
We'll never forget you.
Seeing him at the resort.
Roll through the Stash Terrain Park.
Coming through the tram. Or
in 9 out of 10 times, I would coincidentally bump into him.
See him in the park.
Doing his thing.
This mountain was Mike's mountain.
It's really weird with him not here.
I miss my friend Mike.
Always a treat just to roll up and bump into him and take laps together.
Oh, heart's broken.
It's fucking weird.
The whole community is kind of shattered.
He just is the backbone of our snowboard community here.
And I'm really gonna miss seeing him in Jackson. And
he was the very first person that I saw.
He became a real staple in that town for me, and someone I really looked forward to seeing every time I was there.
It was so good to see him.
It was so fun to meet up with him on the hill all the time.
It's just bringing people together and
He'll be missed in the community for sure.
making them feel like family. And
If you can hear me out there, Mike, we're all here for you. We love you. If he was here, he would want all of us still out here having a good time and keep progressing in our own ways.
Because snowboarding connects everybody.
We're all here.
Always been here for everyone, really.
What a fortunate community to have Mike a part of it.
And it's such a strong community that everyone who is involved and knows each other, they become so close so quick because of that.
We're all just a big family here.
We'll always be thinking of him when we're riding through and driving by. And
I know his soul lives on within each of us, within this whole area. He's right here, right now.
Keep his happiness and his energy with you.
Mikey was definitely a huge light to this snowboard community, especially here in Jackson Hole.
He was just a beacon of light on a blizzard day in Jackson Hole. You just could see him and everyone wanted to follow him around, and if you were doing that, then you were definitely having the best day of your life. I can guarantee that.
A beacon of inspiration, a shining light of hope.
He was the brightest light.
Real bright light, his soul.
Last time I saw Mike, I gave him a big hug, told him I loved him.
Love you, Mike.
You know, one of those things you can't take back. And
Hello, Dave and Kim.
Mike's parents, you guys are fucking rocks. I offer to you guys anytime you come back here.
Hopefully we'll see you guys this summer.
You want to go down the river.
Not have to wear masks around each other, but
You want to go up the tram. You want to just sit in a cool place and reach out, let us know.
I want to express my deepest condolences for the loss of Mike. Got to be the hardest thing in life, and again, I am very, very sorry.
Gonna miss him. I know everybody is. He just brought so much joy to so much people living the life that he wanted to live for himself. He lived his dream. He was living his dream life. I don't think he would have asked for anything else. You're gonna be missed, Mike. I'll see you in the White Room, I guess.
We love him, we miss him dearly, and we love all you family and friends.
My heart goes out to family and really close friends.
Thanks, guys.
and I'm gonna miss him a lot. I do miss him a lot already. Anyways, take care. Thank you.
Miss you, brother. We're all gonna miss him so much. Damn, Mike. Rest in power, brother. We're gonna see you on the other side, man. We're gonna be shredding AK spines in the clouds, my man. See you soon.
You know, I was talking to Jesse Burt. The first thing we were saying was, you know, we lost a real one.
Just worried about the guy. Safe testing.
Mike always had a smile on his face. Love you, Mike. Rest in power, Mike.
I miss you, man. I can't wait to see you again.
We're really gonna miss him, Mike, out here.
He's gonna be missed for me. I love him.
We love you, Mike.
Love you, Mike. Send it for you, brah.
Oh, you just had to be lucky enough to witness one of his great stunts.
He was such a pleasure to watch.
Thank you so much, Dave and Kim.